my life, I had brown hair. Then the gray started to show up. Just a strand or two at first. By the time I hit 35, I had this thick white stripe running down the front of my hairline. I called it my skunk stripe, and I was okay with it. But my friends, they started saying, you're too young to have gray hair, and did you ever consider coloring your hair? You should go to my hairdresser. She's a color expert. And I thought, yeah, I know what they're doing. I'm just going to do my own thing for another year or so. And I started getting grayer, and I thought, well, okay, I'll yield to the peer pressure. And so I went to this color expert, and 90 minutes later, I had this bright, new, shiny head of deep auburn hair. And I went home with it, and I thought, this is good, this is cool. For about 3 weeks, then I looked in the mirror, and the roots were back. And I said, this is a hair care equivalent of selling my soul to the devil. So for the next 10 years, there'd be the monthly cover-up of, trying to keep this, pretending I wasn't getting older. And I just was getting more and more uncomfortable with it. And I'd look in the mirror and go, what do I really look like? I'm an imposter. This is an artificial layer. And I was really, angsting over it. And I thought, I can't do this anymore. So I said, I'm just going to stop dyeing my hair. And my son, who was 9 at the time, said, Mom, they even have commercials on TV. If your hair's gray, you're supposed to dye it. I'm making a choice here, son. Okay, we don't have to do what they tell us on TV. So my hairdresser was also, okay, because she was a color expert, but she said, what we have to do is just cut your hair really short so to get rid of the old color. So for about 3 months, I looked kind of like a calico cat. I had, a couple different colors in there. But then finally, the real me emerged, which is, what I look like now, except that was a few years ago. And since then, I've had interesting reactions. Like, I have people on the train offering to give me their seat. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay. And I have, lots of ticket sellers say, do you need the senior discount? Not yet. It's kind of like the reverse of kids trying to pretend they're 21. Like, I don't need to pretend I'm not yet 65, but that's okay. But I've also had some positive comments. I've had more than one person say, boy, that light hair brings out the blue of your eyes. Or I've had women walk up to me in the supermarket and say, I really like your hair. I wish I had the nerve to stop dyeing mine. And I'd say, well, yeah, maybe someday, Or the best was one day I was walking down the street in my neighborhood, and this woman was walking her dog on the other side of the street, and she goes, I stopped coloring my hair because of you. So I walk across the street having to meet this woman, and she said, no, seriously, I've seen you around for a while. And I went home and I said to my kids, I see a woman with gray hair. She looks okay. I think I'm going to stop dyeing it. And she had gray hair, and I kind of just, high-fived her and said, whatever. And believe me, I'm not trying to be a crusader. I think it's fine if people color their hair. For me, it was just a way of trying to embrace the aging process and be a little more comfortable with it. And another way that I did that was I thought I have to come up with a positive image for the color of my hair. So I thought about it, and one day it came to me, clouds. So now I see my hair as the color of a cloud. The white mixed with gray is kind of settled in on my head. And I think they were right. I feel like it's made my eyes a clearer shade of sky. Thank you.
Good job.